On today's adventure, we're going on a Behind the Blooms tour at Dollywood Theme Park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We'll be walking throughout Dollywood Theme Park to check out the Flower and Food Festival. We'll meet a man who claims to be Santa and sells something at the sweet shop that he says is actually better than cinnamon bread. We'll also meet a real-life beekeeper who will teach us all about honeybees as we try to find his queen bee. We will also be showing you some of the unique Flower and Food Festival entertainment that's going on throughout Dollywood. As we walk around, we'll sample some festival food and drinks. We may find some really big ducks and little tiny ducks that were just recently born. So we invite you to join us on this adventure as we travel throughout Dollywood Theme Park during their Flower and Food Festival. Before we get started, I did want to point out that this tour is in addition to your theme park admission. You can purchase it online in advance, or you could always walk up here to the new Time Saver location and see if they have any tours available for the day. We picked up our lanyards at the Time Saver location. We also got ride re-entry passes and a card for an exclusive festival keepsake we'll show you at the end of the video. So it's time to meet up with our group, and this is Betsy. Betsy's gonna take us around, so without further ado, take it away, Betsy.
So this is our 2023 expedition for this tour, and the park has been wildly busy over the last 2 weeks. We always prepare 2 weeks before, so plantings and all of our planters and stuff, those all started 2 weeks ago. And I called them our little elves because the landscape team was doing that in the middle of the night. They brought lights in, they did all the plantings, and never during park hours. So it was like you came in the next day to go to work and you're like, oh, so beautiful, like they did so good. And they're new, and so they haven't really gotten their full form yet. But our butterfly is new, so we're starting here. This is a great focal photo point as well. So this year they redid the flowers to look like our badge. It's been a fan favorite. Everybody loves this as a photo op. We may need it here in a little bit. All the umbrellas are from Portugal. I would like for everybody to guess like how many umbrellas you think we have. Can you see they go all the way down Show Street? 500? 500? 600? Anybody? So there's 520 up today, yes. So we added a new color this year. So we're gonna do a group photo here with the umbrellas. Okay, you ready? Right here, 1, 2, 3. Look right here, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna step into the sweet shop, and you'll have your first sampling today where they make the fudge, so you are gonna have a very delicious sample. Mr. Bill! This is our sweet shop. So we have our world famous ice cream on that end. We have our apples, our candied apples, caramel apples, all the apples. So on a busy summer day, they'll do anywhere between 200 and 300 apples as far as caramel apples. And then you get into your fudges and all the yummy stuff. And Mr. Bill is right over here. He's gonna tell us a little bit more about those. But if you wanna see how he does all the magic, you can see them making some caramel bear claws. Yes. For what? Why are we making bear claws, y'all? Big bear. Big bear! So we got themed cookies. So y'all come and take a look at this artistry up here.
All right, these are our caramel bear claws, and they're dark chocolate this time. We do milk chocolate also. So I take the caramel, and we use the same kind of caramel we use on our apples. So I take it and dip it out in circles, and then it picks up all the pecans on the bottom. And then we take it and we dip it into the dark chocolate, and we come out with our bear claws. And then once I get it, some of the excess chocolate off, I try to leave quite a bit, but once I get it, then I put it over on our tray, and then I top it with a whole pecan. They're delicious. That's my favorite, actually, out of all the things that we make.
So Mr. Bill likes to talk about his fudge.
This is our candy area here. We've got enough candy and enough different varieties to appeal to anyone, either old-fashioned candy or the newer candy. We've got everything from the root beer and the lemon drops to we have slime liquors here also. Our biggest ones we've got here, folks, which you saw Sid making, we've got our bear paws. We've also got Smoky Mountain Mud, which if you haven't had Smoky Mountain Mud, it's a real taste treat. What we do every morning is we take a bucket over to the creek over here, and we get fresh Smoky Mountain Mud for you, and we put it in chocolate. Anything you find extra is protein, so there's no charge. But seriously, the Smoky Mountain Mud is peanut butter, peanuts, Rice Krispies, and marshmallows. and then covered it in milk chocolate, or we're going to have white chocolate ones too today. So they are delicious. We also have right here the second best treat you're going to find in the park. A lot of people think it's cinnamon bread. No, the best treat in the park is frozen cheesecake on the stick, dipped in chocolate. Like we like to say here in the sweet shop, they come for the cinnamon bread, they leave with the cheesecake. We have 6 different types of apples that we do. We do the plain caramel with peanuts. This is our turtle. This one here, this is caramel, milk chocolate, white chocolate drizzle with pecans on it. Probably the best apple you're gonna have. This is a new one today, and this one is really beautiful. This is a white chocolate with caramel, but also has little butterflies on it. Right now we've got 12 different types of fudges. You're gonna get to sample one of them, but we've got one that is kind of a little bit ahead of our time because it's for the new Bear roller coaster when it opens. It's a bear track. It is chocolate, it is caramel, and pecans, and it is one of the best fudges you're ever going to taste, folks. We also have several specialties for the flour and food. We've got our berry delicious, our chocolate cherry, and our dark chocolate raspberry truffle. Like I said, we have something for everyone here, so you can't go home without trying something. If you guys want to step around over to the side here, this is the berry delicious. Now this is a raspberry and blueberry.
What do you think? Very fruity.
I don't make candy.
You don't make it?
I'm Santa, I sell the candy. If you notice the resemblance, yes. Yes, this is what I do in my off season. Guys, you have a wonderful day. And please come back and see me later on.
We have jams and preserves, there's honey and the apple butter. So we have all types of yummy, delicious things, but I also think that they're amazing housewarming gifts because they're funny. So you'll notice the labels are like traffic jam and frog jam and toe jam. Like who's gonna want that, right? When you put it all together in a little bag for somebody for a housewarming, they're super cute gifts. So these are things that you can only get here at the Southern Pantry. It just makes for a nice little treat. So that part of the shop used to be where they made homemade taffy. They don't do that anymore. So we've just kind of extended to where people can enjoy their ice cream or little snacks down here. We're about to go out and start looking at our first of the Mosiacultures. These are called Mosiacultures, and I'm gonna tell you the difference in Mosiacultures and Topiary as we move through the park. So this umbrella is 10 feet tall and 8 feet wide. It's made up of 3 different types of flowers in the structure, and it took about 3 to 4 hours for them to put this together. All of these come over from Montreal, Canada. And when they're here from Canada, they come by 8 transfer trucks that are refrigerated, and then they are stored out in our parking lot, and then they come in during off hours of the park. Our special events team puts them together, and our landscapers maintain them. So they have to have a hand trim once a week. All right, guys, we're gonna walk this way and check out our chalk artist. Does anybody want to guess how many landscapers we have on team? 14 landscapers, yes. We have 1 arborist, that's a tree surgeon. And then we have supervisor, team lead, so just 3 people that are above our 14 landscapers. So they're like our little elves that work during the night. Hanging baskets and the wire baskets, these are all new for the festival as well. This is our Sways Bloom Show. It was commissioned here at Dollywood last year, was its first season. They don't talk, but they bloom from a bud. And they do all of this acrobatic stuff. It's a 14-minute show. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna let y'all enjoy that for just a minute. They are representing 3 flowers that are native to the Smoky Mountains. So don't ask me which one is which, but they are the passion flower, the Turk's cap lily, the crimson bee balm. Yes, so that was super fascinating. So we kind of bypassed Jamie, so I want to take y'all back to our chalk artist. And she just started working on this chalk painting this morning. Yesterday she made an incredible masterpiece of flowers, but it rained, and so she lost all of her hard work. So she started again today, and this is where she is so far. Now Jamie is also responsible for our pumpkin carvings. So yeah, so she's our artist that does all of our carvings for the pumpkin too. So we keep her around because she makes this place beautiful. So she's a favorite around here. We're gonna go back to our biggest icon, Mama Parton. All of our terracotta planters, those are new. All the plantings here, they've been switched out even since our 50 years of I'll Always Love You celebration. So all of this is brand new. And so when this festival's over, they'll take these up and put new ones down. But it all looks like it's been here and it's supposed to be here forever, and it's just so beautiful. The Pines Theater was a theater that Dolly got her first little on-stage performance. So it's a replica of that theater when she was 13. Right now they're doing Dreamland Drive-In. It's a fascinating show. So we're gonna turn left and go down this way and see Mama Parton. All right guys, does anybody know the difference between Mosiacultures and Topiaries? So Mosiacultures is a form of art, and so these are steel structures with the carpeted base, and then the plants are grown out of that base. So different varieties of plants. And a topiary would be one single plant. Montreal, Canada owns them. We just rent them from them. No one else can use Mama Parton except for Dollywood. So she's our special one. She's our highlight. She's 16 feet tall. She's got 20 different types of plants that make her up. And I want you from this position, I want you to see that these butterflies here, these butterflies each weigh 1,400 pounds apiece, but they're bringing fabric to Mama Parton to make the coat of many colors. So they're not just here being cute little butterflies, they're part of this story. She weighs over 15,000 pounds and she's 16 pieces to put together. So she takes all day to put her together. Special events team is not allowed to display Mama Parton's head without the rest of her. She has to stay covered until the whole thing is ready. So guys, we have Flit and Flutter that are here to take a picture with you.
So Bree and Hannah are getting a picture, and that's something that your tour guide is able to do on this VIP
1, 2,
tour.
3. Oh, how pretty. 1, 2, 3.
So Betsy, what are we doing right now?
We're waiting on mango boba tea. Do one of your samplings, one of your 3 samplings. And all of this will be like in 3 weeks, this will be so full. It's incredible. We're at Dollywood's famous kettle corn stop. So we have some samples, yes? Awesome, thank you.
It's a wonderful, refreshing snack to have along the tour.
We have 33 floating planters in our pond out here, and so sometimes those get missed, but they're new for the festival. So it's groups of 4 and 5 flowers, and they're beautiful out there with our ducks swimming around. We've had lots of babies recently, baby ducks, so they were with their mamas, so hopefully we'll catch a glimpse of them playing too. So our raccoons are 3 varieties of flowers. They take half a day to put together. Mostly that team works at night to do those. And they have built-in waterers for the Mosiacultures. They're watered from inside. The plantings are all hand watered. And this is a temporary garden that was brought in just for the raccoons. So when you see the planter bricks here, that's all special for the festival. So Mountain Laurel is our little southern flair shop. And the cool thing about this store, A, is the water wheel, because that's pretty fantastic in the middle of a store. And B, is that you can't get these items anywhere else in the park. So these aren't available in the Emporium or at any other of the stores. Everything is unique to this store.
For $14.99, you can get this Pour Myself a Cup of Ambition mug in here.
Y'all know and love Dolly's mountain home. This is a replica that her brother built on the property. This memorial garden has always been here for Dolly's parents and grandparents, but the flowers are new. So we like to think that for the Flower and Food Festival, we just are celebrating, we're continuing to celebrate her parents. And
Ooh, the sweet and tangy barbecue meatballs. Those are so good that we had yesterday. If you haven't checked out our food video, I'll put that down in the description, and we show you all the different festival food available here during the Flower and Food Festival at Dollywood.
so they've done plantings here of over 40,000 flowers in just this area to make it look like a sunrise and sunset. All right, so this is our back porch theater, and they have this show right now, A Brighter Day. There's 4 vocalists and 5 members of the band with lots of contemporary Christian, country, lots of songs that everybody knows and loves. So they perform that a couple of times during the day. In the Smoky Mountains, we love our bears. So we're gonna go see our bears. They're right up here. So this is our mama bear and her 3 cubs. She takes all day to put together. It's in 6 different pieces, but 4 varieties of flowers in there. Weighs 3,500 pounds. So our frog and turtle Mosiacultures, there are 5 varieties of flowers in those. And they take about 2 to 3 hours a piece to put up. The frog weighs 1,500 pounds and the turtles weigh 1,600 a piece. And the only thing that Dollywood keeps in their inventory is the frog's tongue. And that's the cutest little duckling. Come on. She had 2 more yesterday. Where the babies, Mama? Were you asking me about the baby ducks? I was. Okay, so this mama's got some. She had 18 earlier.
Oh, there ain't no way that she got them all tucked up under her.
No, but she had 14 crossing the road before our last tour.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't she precious? All right, does anybody want to guess how many labor hours this takes to transform this place into this beautiful flower festival? 1,200 labor hours. They do it 2 weeks prior to the festival, all during the night. They bring in lights so that they can see. Been at this for a while, getting ready. So they bring over 500,000 flowers in for this festival. So this is our beekeeper. It's in 6 different pieces. It weighs 5,000 pounds. It takes all day to put that one together. How much do you think the bees weigh by themselves? That's close, 240. Each bee weighs 240. So I love how they did the taller plantings here, like the bees are pollinating. And then this year, it's new that we added a real beekeeper. So he has a booth right back here. His name's Alan. And so he does little interviews. So I hope that we'll have a chance to stop and let Alan tell us a little bit about some of his hives. It's absolutely fascinating.
So we're gonna head over and meet Alan, the beekeeper here at the corner.
So welcome everybody. So we're Huckabee Honey. We're based out of Sevierville. I was born and raised here. We transport our bees from here to Florida every single year. So typically in August, our honeybee season here, we'll stop and we'll take them down to Florida for a Brazilian pepper as well as an orange blossom season. And then we bring them all back up here at the beginning of April to start our wildflower season that we do here. So we just brought them up about a week ago. We have roughly about 150 hives and produce about 10,000 pounds of honey a year. So we have a variety of samples from local wildflower to the orange blossom. And then we also do a Brazilian pepper honey, which is really good. Not spicy at all. It's actually a little sweeter than most, but just a different flavor profile as well. I brought 30,000 girlfriends with me today, so yes. So we have about 30,000 of our bees in an observation hive. We love to educate. It's probably the most important thing that we do, to educate our young people on how important bees are. Really just the pollination portion as well as how to take care of them, how they can take care of the environment by planting local flowers to their area, not using pesticides on plants, and a variety of other things. So really excited to be here. So we're glad to have you all. Bees only live 28 days, so the bees that were in Florida don't even know what Tennessee looks like anymore yet. So they cycle in and out. Queen bee only lays about 1,000 eggs a day during harvest season. So she lays a lot of eggs. She knows that cycle goes back and through, and you'll see these beehives over to your right. That's what my hives actually look like, so that tall. And my hives probably have about 100,000 to 110,000 bees in every single hive. A queen lays a neutral egg, and whatever the queen feeds the larva is what will be born. So if they only feed it honey, it'll be a worker bee. If they feed it a mixture of honey and royal jelly, it'll be a drone, the male bee. They don't make a lot of them. And then if they want it to be a queen, it'll only be royal jelly. So there is a queen, but because of the really cold temperatures this morning, she's been hiding a lot in the top portion, but we can take a look here in just a minute and see if we can't find her for you guys. So I was a wine director for the Waldorf Astoria. Because I was making my own wine, that's how I got started in it. So I did not want to use sugar in my white wines. I didn't want to use bleached sugar. So I started using honey, met with a local beekeeper in Florida. I realized that 1 tablespoon of honey is equivalent to 3 tablespoons of sugar. And so we started making it, and I got a couple hives for myself, and 2 turned into 4, and then I fell in love with the inside of the hive, how it works, how they lay eggs, when they lay eggs, how the ecosystem within the hive is pretty amazing. So a little education on when bees, so bees only live 28 days, but each week of their life they do a different situation inside of the hive. They have a different task. So the first week they typically learn to take care of the hive, build comb, take care of the queen. The next 2 weeks are like teenagers, so they're very active, so they're out collecting pollen and nectar. And then the last week of their life, unfortunately, they've kind of flown themselves to death, and they really just are there to guard the hive. And when they pass on, the other bees will carry them and take them off to a little bee heaven, a garden somewhere. So they take them out of the hive. But what happens is when they're teenagers and they're going back and forth between the flower, in order for this to be honey, it has to be less than 20% water. And the bees know that. I don't test it, the bees know that. When they're flower, it's 90% water and only 10% glucose or fructose, depending on the flower type. So when they bring that to the hive, they have to flop the equation. So they have 2 sets of wings, one to fly with and one to heat and cool the hive up. They heat the hive up so hot that it actually evaporates the water out of the cells until they know that that's never going to go bad, and then they'll cap it with a wax capping, meaning that it's ready to go. Bees will fly up to 2 miles to get food. So if you ever want to go for a 2-mile run, that's how far a bee's willing to fly.
That's awesome.
He's spotting out where the queen bee is.
Just right to the right of my finger. Has that big black dot on her.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Here in front of the grist mill where you get cinnamon bread, it says Ducky Days. As the unofficial greeter of Dollywood, every day here is a Ducky Day. Many generations of mallards have made this park their home. This brightly colored waterfowl is enjoying the beauty of the grist mill pond. Look out, he might just snatch a bite of our world famous cinnamon bread.
So this is all our Craftsman Valley.
It has become a beautiful day. The sun has come out.
I know, it was supposed to rain. I thought this is going to be something else.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out.
So guys, welcome to the Robert F. Thomas Chapel. We have our Peacock, which is our last of the 8 Mosiacultures that y'all have seen today. She's made of 3 pieces, 2 for the tail and 1 for the body. Just 6 varieties of flowers. It takes her 4 hours to be put together, and she weighs 2,500 pounds. And she's really pretty magical from the back too. All the succulents that are on her little tail are so pretty. They did her a little different this year, so I don't know if it's a her or he, but I like to call her a girl because she's pretty. And we have our Hall sisters that perform some wonderful gospel type music right here on the front porch of the chapel. This chapel is named after the prominent physician that was here in Sevierville who also delivered Dolly. And her family paid for her to be born with 2 sacks of cornmeal. That's how, yeah. My granddaddy was a doctor, and it was, back in the day. And so one time my mom said, somebody brought us a goat. That was to pay for something my grandfather had done for the family. This is the end of our Flower and Food Festival tour. Thank y'all for participating. I had a blast with y'all. I hope you're gonna stay and enjoy a little bit of the park. Love to make memories worth repeating here. And I'm gonna leave you with a Dolly quote. So if you don't see someone without a smile, give them yours. Okay? And then enjoy all the little quotes that they put on all the little planting tables through the park. Mostly they're around the pond, but they're all from our Dolly, and she's just amazing. So please enjoy your day. We enjoyed our time with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. The Hall sisters have started to play, so I thought you might want to see some highlights of their show.
We thought really hard and long about what song to do next after this one. We thought, well, it's gonna be probably hot more often than not, and people are out in the sun, and so we thought, you know what? Let's do a song from a Christmas movie.
Good idea.
I thought it was a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. It's from a little movie called White Christmas. Oh, good. Okay, good. Now, here's the thing. No, I felt a little fear enter this area. Yeah, don't worry. We're not going to be singing about snow or cold weather. No, in fact, this is from White Christmas, but it is not snow. It is not White Christmas. No, it's another song, in fact, that we can do literally any time of the year because, let me tell you what, the subject matter is very, very, very relatable. Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone, no sir. I'm here to keep my eye on her. Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing. When a certain gentleman arrived from Rome, I wore the dress and we stayed home. Comes between me and my man, me and my man. That man at his scratch, but then his number came up and he was gone for straps. And the army now, Lord Emily, he's the book, the beauty boy company. That's a few highlights of the Hall Sisters show, but let me know in the comments if you'd like to see the full show and I'll post it up later. We also each got a time saver pass for one ride that we're able to walk around the park and utilize. So after the 2-hour tour, we were able to walk around the park and enjoy whatever we wanted together. So we ended up working our way over towards the bakery. And before we left, we each picked out our own treat from the bakery that we bought, from this beehive cookie to Bree got this chocolate chip cookie, which was really good, and some cupcakes. Speaking of food, we did a full tasting pass guide I'll put down in the description of this video where we tried every single festival food. So check out that video down below. And before we left, we picked up our exclusive festival keepsake at the Emporium. It was this really cute wheelbarrow blossom kit. You can see it says Flower and Food Festival on it, and inside it had some seeds and a little dirt packet so we can grow our own flowers at home. In the description of this video, I'll also put a link to where you can sign up for a Behind the Blooms tour or see more information about it. That's going to wrap up today's adventure on Dollywood's Behind the Bloom VIP tour. A big thank you to Dollywood for having us out. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments who you thought was more fascinating to listen to, Santa at the sweet shop or Alan the beekeeper. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure.